PulStar version 11.0.51 is here, and it's packed with updates that save you time in the exam room, protect your subscription, and give you finer control over every adjustment. Let's take a look at what's new. First up, if I bring up my wife's patient file, you can now copy and paste directly from the notes section. So we can actually just Control A, then copy all this information, and then you can pull those findings into a report, a referral letter, or another patient's chart in seconds without having to retype a single word. On the Review Patient Session screen, we can now reassign individual visits or all of the visits for a patient to another patient or a new file. This is very helpful if you accidentally put one visit into the wrong patient file, or if someone got married and changed their name and you happen to add their new name as a new patient. Now you can actually just copy those individual visits over to that new file. And you'll stay on this patient until you've completed all of the visit transfers that you need. We've also added a safeguard to the subscription. If a payment fails and enters the Apple billing grace period, which is a 30-day grace period, the PulStar will now alert you right away so you can update your payment details before your access is ever interrupted. For more advanced access, we've added a change in the diagnostics so that it works well with the latest macOS. If you haven't used the diagnostics, it's in the advanced panel. You'll see the Run Diagnostics button. Generally, you don't need to do this unless you might be having an issue and we need to try to figure out whether the problem is in the impulse head or in the PulStar box itself. And I'll walk you through running these diagnostics and things. Another thing that we've added is the preload thresholds. So for more advanced doctors, you can review and adjust the impulse head's preload engagement thresholds at the low, medium, and high settings to match your technique. And of course, you can restore to the factory defaults as well if you have any problems. One of our favorite updates, the neuropatholator. If you jump to the anatomy button, you'll see the neuropatholator window. One thing that we've done here is we've updated this so that if I do a full spine analysis, now when I go to that anatomy window, when the neuropatholator loads, it will load the information from the pre-analysis and automatically put those into the neuropatholator. This now references the primary subluxations identified in your pre-analysis, automatically linking the nerve and muscle pathways to each patient's actual findings. It's a powerful way to show patients exactly how their spine connects to how they feel. So that's everything new that's shipped with 11.0.51. But I would like to show you some things that are coming up next. First, we're working in a beta version, a new imaging section. So right beside the neuropatholator, you can click on imaging. From here, you can either directly import from maybe a CD or zip archives that a patient might bring in to you, the DICOM files with their x-rays and things. The other option is if you have a DICOM server in the office, and I've already set one up, the system will automatically allow you to search by the patient name for anything that is available from your server. You can retrieve individual MRI visits, or you can go ahead and retrieve everything that's available. When we do that, you can actually see those MRI, CT scans, X-rays right in the PulStar system. So we can jump to a specific MRI reading here. We can change the contrast to an auto contrast, and we can also change that contrast even more by just clicking and sliding on the screen. So this is a great way to now show the issues from the DICOM x-rays and MRI findings compared to the issues that they see in the pre-analysis right now. So it's a great way for additional patient education and so that you can really show what's happening behind the scenes to the patient. Another thing that we're working on in the beta section, if I bring my wife's information up real quick. In the review sessions now, you'll see we have a new patterns tab at the top. When I click on that, the system will work through at least a minimum of 15 visits, and it will take a look at all those visits and be able to show you what's reoccurring, maybe what areas are emerging, and even areas that are getting better over time as well. And if you've got the newer Mac OS and the latest M processors from Apple, there is also a Apple Intelligence section that will put together this information to show what symptoms the patient might be having and how complex those symptoms might be. And it even takes locations that flare together and put those together for you as well. So you can take a look at those and be able to help discern if there are certain areas that you really need to focus on for that patient. So those are some new things that are coming and are currently in beta. One other thing that we're currently working on in beta is in the adjust section. If you're in the specific mode, you can now set the specific rate to any individual rate that you might be interested in. So that will change the specific rate. It'll stay at that rate all the time. And every time for this session that we come back to that specific mode, it'll always come back to that rate for you until you change it again. So that's another option that we're working in beta. 11.0.51 is available now. Update today to put these features to work. And if you're not a PulStar doctor yet, reach out. We'd love to show you what we can do for your practice.